everyone's trying to make money online, and anyone who gets into the make money online scene typically knows what affiliate marketing is, right? Now, with the influx of affiliates, what's happening is all these affiliate networks are growing really fast. Amazon is really close to having 1 million affiliates. ShareASale has 700,000. Awin has 200,000. ClickBank is over 100,000 affiliates. And there's tons and tons and tons of other places where people go, like CPA networks, for instance, where people have also the opportunity to promote. So collectively, we're talking, at this point, we're talking about maybe 2 million people worldwide, at least attempting to make money from home as affiliate marketers. And as a result, what happens is there's more than ever advertisers. Because besides the small businesses that would like to advertise online, which they do, there's also all these affiliates, right, who are trying to advertise too. And what this means is that they all go to Google and Facebook to get the traffic. For the most part, anyone who's trying to advertise anything usually goes to Google or Facebook, because these two companies, they're controlling the internet. I mean, if we're really honest with each other right now, Google and Facebook amount for most of internet's traffic, and their grip on the internet is actually growing with all the acquisitions that they're making all the time. And there's a reason why they're constantly being hit with all these anti-trust and monopoly lawsuits by the governments in different states, is because they're really taking over the world. Now, I'm not here to judge whether that's good or bad. It's just a fact that if everyone and their brother is advertising Google and Facebook, and the model works using a bidding system, guess what's going to happen? Like, if everyone's fishing in the same exact pond and everyone's bidding for the exact same spots on the advertising platforms, be it in someone's feed or in the search engines or on their YouTube pages, what's going to happen to the traffic cost? Is the price going to go down? No, of course not. It's going to go up, and it's going to go up really, really fast, which is exactly what's been happening for years now, where the traffic on these platforms and on the platforms they control has been going up and up and up and up. And I'm sure you've noticed that too. Even Forbes noticed it. In fact, they wrote an article, just announcing how businesses are complaining, small businesses are complaining that, the Facebook ads traffic costs are growing so fast. This is a screenshot from my buddy's Facebook account, because I don't advertise on Facebook now for many, many years now, but my friend does. And, he is showing like how much he's paying per click. He's paying close to $5 per click. Now, how are you able to sustain that if you're making $50 or $30 commissions? I don't think that's possible unless your traffic is so targeted that almost every click converts to a sale, which, if you've ever attempted promoting affiliate offers, is not true. So Google is even worse than Facebook, because it has now become the most competitive advertising platform, period. And every single year, the traffic cost on Google websites is growing. We're talking search, we're talking YouTube ads, we're talking Google Visual or Display Network, as it's called. It doesn't matter. The price is climbing all the time, and it's climbing by a substantial margin. Now, for me, I do a lot of Google advertising, or at least I used to do in the last 2 years. And look, I'm paying over $6.60 per click. Every conversion is costing me, on average, over $47. Now, that's insane. And these numbers were about half that just a year and a half ago. So it's pretty crazy, which, of course, begs the question, is there traffic beyond Google and Facebook, right? Now, of course, there is traffic beyond Google and Facebook. Here's an example. LinkedIn ads. I'm sure many of you know what LinkedIn is. It's a platform where people go to connect and communicate based on their profession and their job. And it's kind of, like a B2B platform. Look, $3, $4 per click. Reddit ads. Reddit is an online platform where people go to discuss different things, and it's a platform that mostly millennials and people over 30 go to discuss their experience with just life and every area of life. Look, $6.34 per click. I mean, come on, this is way too expensive. Now, what about native ads? Now, native ads are famous for being cheap. As you can see, I was able to run a couple of campaigns. I was able to spend $425 and generate 1.4 thousand clicks. paying on average somewhere in the range of 30 to 40 cents per click. And you think, oh, wow, that's awesome. That's cheap traffic. But the problem with cheap traffic, it doesn't convert, right? In all of this traffic, by the way, that I'm showing you here in this case study, I don't think I actually made any sales. So after 1.4 thousand clicks, that's kind of depressing. Now, is there anything else besides these techniques? Yeah, absolutely there is. There's push traffic, pop-up traffic, pop-under traffic, exit traffic, redirects, cold email outreach, porn sites. Porn sites sell a lot of traffic and it's really cheap. Pay-per-view traffic, there's solo ads, there's content marketing, there's social media marketing, there's a lot. But that's exactly the problem. Do you really want to become that person? Do you really want to become that person who ends up testing all these different traffic sources? Because if you do, you need to answer two questions. First, do you have at least $10,000 budget for each one of the traffic sources you'd like to test? And if you do, are you willing to sacrifice it? Because that's going to take at least that much to try and understand whether the traffic source you're testing is any good and if it's worth your time. Now, the second question is, do you have the time required to run tests, analyze conversions, drill into audiences, run demographic analysis, etc.? Or is it just too much? Because for me, I'm able to do this stuff. I have the budget, I have the understanding, I have the technical skill set. But you know what the problem is? The problem is, and I'm pretty sure it's the same way for most people, it just doesn't make sense anymore. Like at some point, it becomes so complicated that it consumes you. It requires more time and attention than your actual day job. You end up investing all this time, making all these sacrifices, investing all this money into testing, and it basically becomes this all-consuming thing. But is that really the reason why I got into the business? Because many of you and me as well, I got into the business because I wanted more freedom, I wanted more free time, I wanted to make passive income, and I wanted to work smart and not hard. And so if you're trying to test 20 different traffic sources, guess what? You're actually living the opposite of the dream you've set for yourself. So let me save you some time and share with you some lessons I've learned testing dozens and dozens of traffic sources over the years. Okay, here's the first three that I learned after pretty much, testing everything there is to test. So first, free traffic is really slow. And, I don't recommend free traffic at this point to anyone because it's just not worth, investing in the next 3 to 5 years trying to build it only to lose it after the next Google update or algorithm change. We've seen it happen over and over again. If you ever tried organic traffic, you know what I'm talking about. Also, free traffic is hyper competitive because, there's a reason why everyone and their brother wants to, compete for the same space on the free traffic platforms is because they don't want to pay for it. But what ends up happening, ironically, is that free traffic is not free. Free traffic actually requires you to buy tools, invest lots of manual labor, maybe hire some freelancers, invest lots of time and develop some skills. So it actually is not a free method. At the end of the day, you end up paying a lot for free traffic, oftentimes just as much as you would for paid, only it takes a lot more time. And I know this because I've tried it. Here's a screenshot from my blog that I used to run, and I used to run it every day. I used to update it with unique quality content. I did everything. I developed custom themes for it. I learned how to code HTML and PHP. I learned how to install and update plugins. I could do anything technical, really. And, that was a year I'm not getting back. I've also tried video marketing for a very long time. In fact, I even had a video go viral at one point, which resulted in exactly nothing. So that was kind of embarrassing. I've also tried article marketing and kind of writing for a living, if you will, by driving traffic through these article sites. So while eZine Articles, I don't think it exists today, I think medium.com is now like the next article submission site. I also built quite a large social media following in my space. And again, all this following did for me was give me this nice feeling that there are lots of people who think I'm cool, but at the end of the day, it's not where the money came from. It definitely wasn't like a buying audience, if you will. So none of these things worked. Now, let me share with you 4 more lessons that I learned. First off, there's more paid traffic than free traffic out there. And it's easy to access if you're willing to pony up the dough. It's also much faster, by the way. Paid traffic, there's a beauty in it because you push a button and it starts coming in. I like that about paid traffic. Now, the other thing I learned about paid traffic is that generally speaking, cheap traffic is bad traffic. Just generally speaking, if the traffic is almost like too good to be true cheap, usually it's exactly that. Like we're talking things like push and mobile apps and pop-ups and porn sites. And yes, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I did test porn site traffic because guys, it's really cheap. It's like half a cent per click or something. But the problem is that when the traffic is that cheap, you just can't make money off of it. So you still end up spending lots of money without any kind of result. Now, also, generally speaking, good traffic is expensive traffic. Now, there are some exceptions. For instance, I found that, Reddit ads were expensive, but weren't necessarily good. I also found that LinkedIn ads didn't quite convert for me. But, when it comes to Google, for example, Google has good traffic, especially if you know how to target, which requires a PhD in digital marketing, but it's really, really, really expensive because everyone tries to get a slice and it drives the prices up. Everyone's competing for the same space. And another lesson I learned is that good traffic becomes more expensive over time until it's reasonably expensive and only advertisers with deepest pockets can actually survive. So what I mean to say is that, almost every traffic source that was ever good started out being reasonably priced. And then once people found out it was good and everyone started going to that traffic source, what happens is it drives the prices up. And as a result, it kind of pushes out the quote unquote normal, regular people like you and me. And it only leaves space for companies that are willing to spend a lot of money on advertising. We're talking companies that are willing to put up a ridiculous amount of ad spend up front to generate a buyer, oftentimes double, triple, or even quadruple of what the actual sale brings in. So they're willing to stay negative for a very long time before bringing in any money. Same as it happened with, for example, infomercials. They used to be a great traffic source. This is where Tony Robbins got his start. He ran one infomercial with a company called Gothy-Renker. But guess what? You can't do it now. It's just too expensive to do. So does that mean that we're kind of screwed? Well, yes and no. Here's what I mean. Another lesson I learned is that traffic landscape is always changing. Like a lot of people treat traffic as the static thing. It's really not. It's alive. And new quality traffic sources are being created all the time. And while these traffic sources generate quality clicks at a reasonable price, it happens for some time until the masses catch up and they jump on it. Everyone starts talking about the traffic source, and then it drives the price up and ruins the traffic source for everyone. So I'm pretty sure it's confusing. So let me go ahead and unpack this. In the 2000s, in the early 2000s, Google Ads used to be affordable, and as a result, created tons of millionaires. Can we agree on that statement? Give me a yes, no in the chat. And I can't bring up the chat without actually breaking up my presentation. So let me see. Yeah. So do you or do you not agree with the statement that Google Ads created tons of millionaires for as long as it was cheap, affordable? Yeah. So nearly all of you agree. Now, would you agree if I said that in the early 2010s, right, in the second decade of the 2000s, Facebook ads used to be affordable, and Facebook ads offered this really simple way to target people, and it was novel, and people actually responded to the ads. They clicked on the links, and your ads reached more people. The impression cost was really low, and as a result, of course, it too created lots of millionaires. Is that a fair statement? Do you agree with this statement or not? Just give me a quick yes or no in the chat. Yeah, okay, cool. So same thing happened with YouTube back as early as 2015, and by the 2019 or so, 2020, it's gotten a lot more competitive. And at this point, in the last year, I'd say, YouTube has now become extremely competitive, driving that average cost per lead to high heaven. And what I mean to say by these examples is that for each great traffic source that was once affordable came a point when the price became a lot higher, to a point where it just scared people off, right? Because right now, most affiliates, they can't really go on Google Ads and promote something unless it's like it's a brand new niche market with no competition, or unless they're bidding for like a specific product keyword that no one else is bidding on, right? So if we were to visualize this, this is what that chart would look like. The price is good at first, then it grows over time, and eventually 99% of people are priced out of the ad platform. Okay, so for virtually every great traffic source, there is the traffic affordability cycle. That's what I call it, TAC. And the TAC is between the moment kind of when the platform launches, maybe a year after it launches, because they work out some quirks, and now the platform becomes like easier to use and brings in the traffic, and then all the way until the point when the platform itself realizes that people are catching on, the user base is growing, and they automatically drive their prices up because of the fierce competition. Now, the traffic affordability cycle lasts about 7 years. That's what I've seen with Google. That's what I've seen with Facebook. That's what I've been seeing with YouTube ads as well. And what's interesting is that there's a tipping point when it almost doubles or even quadruples the price overnight after some time, right? So the traffic affordability cycle is a finite thing. There is a specific date range when you can come in and pretty much make a lot of money with very little effort and very little competition, but it doesn't last forever, right? Which begs the question, what exactly is the next tomorrow's hyper expensive traffic source that is still affordable for average people today? So do you want me to say it? Come on, give me a quick, indulge me, just entertain me. Give me a quick yes in the chat. Oh, Major Sumner's on the call. Lance, I actually wanted to say a big thank you for sending me that toolbox. We moved to a new house, and my wife was putting together some furniture, and she actually said, "Hey, do you still talk to that guy who sent you that toolbox?" It's like, Lance, like, yeah. So can you tell him that it's coming really useful after all these years? So it's funny that you're on the webinar. So yeah, let me tell you what this is about. It's Microsoft Ads. Okay, and anytime I bring up Microsoft Ads, people will be like, "What? Microsoft has ads? Really? Is there like they have a search engine? What? Is anyone using that search engine?" Yeah, believe it or not, Microsoft has a big grip on the advertising space, and they have a lot to offer. In fact, Microsoft has a huge network of paid ads that appear on Yahoo and AOL and DuckDuckGo or DuckDuckGo, which is the privacy browser, and a bunch of other websites, right? And if you're wondering, does anyone even use it? Yeah, they have an especially interesting grip on the PC market, which means personal computer. So when it comes to actual computers, not mobile devices, they have a lot of traffic. They have 142 million PC users that you can reach in the US. They have 18 million, which you can reach in the United Kingdom. Globally, they have over 700 million people, which is about 14, maybe 15% of the global search market share for personal computers, right? Now, you're probably thinking, or at least you should be thinking, well, if Microsoft is so great, how comes no one is talking about it, right? Well, the truth of the matter is that they do. It's just no one's paying any attention. WordStream and other, Backlinko, Brian Dean, like a lot of people talk about Microsoft Ads. They call them Bing Ads, although Microsoft Ads have rebranded themselves as Microsoft Ads a while back, but they do mention them. It's just no one's making a big deal out of it. No one's taking Microsoft seriously because of how big Google and Facebook have become. Now, of course, anything you read on the internet and anything that some guy on a webinar is shouting at you over a Zoom meeting, you shouldn't just take at face value. You should check, right? So I decided to do that. I decided to basically go ahead and run some campaigns and see for myself if this is actually true. And my first campaign was a huge disaster that generated cheap clicks, but no conversions, nothing. Like I'm talking absolutely nothing, just dead. And I was like, I called up Dennis, and Dennis, he kind of does the whole analytics thing for us and everything. And I said, hey, bro, like, did we get 93 clicks? Does it say Microsoft? And he said, you know what? I don't even see any traffic. I don't even see any clicks to the server. So it's like, what? It's like, how is that even possible? So I was really discouraged, and I moved away from Microsoft for a couple of months. And then I kept on hearing about Microsoft, and then it came up in a conversation as a part of a mastermind that I belonged to. So I went back in and I said, maybe I kind of set the settings incorrectly or something. And I started running Microsoft ads again. I still bombed. It wasn't like a huge win or anything like that. All of a sudden, my cost per click almost tripled from the first test, but I got some conversions, which was nice. So I figured, okay, let me keep testing. Let me get deeper into Microsoft and see what I can do. Maybe there's some things I can tweak, some things I can optimize. Where can it take me? And so that's exactly what I've done. I kept on tweaking and testing and improving. All of a sudden, I was able to bring down my cost per action. I was able to bring down my cost per click, and overall streamline my campaigns. And I was like, wow, this is like interesting. This is really good. I'll just kind of focus on it. Let me devote some time out of my day and see what else I can do there. And I continued to test, basically just trying stuff out, guys. I honestly didn't have a blueprint or anything like that. I came in and I just tried things out. And then after more testing, I struck gold. I started generating conversions at a really low, at a really low rate of just a couple of bucks. My cost per click was down significantly, and the keywords I was targeting were really good keywords. In fact, it got so good at some point that I started running straight up affiliate campaigns. And here's one that I ran for a weight loss product that ended up generating well over $500 for an ad spend of just 24 bucks, which is if my math is correct, 2,500% ROI, I think. Again, my mental math is not great. Maybe you can write in the chat what that is. Like if I spent 24 bucks and made let's say 500, right? Then I ran another one, and here I generated about $6.1 thousand on an ad spend of about $300. Here's another one that I ran for a pelvic health related product for women, and I spent $564 and made $2.5 thousand in about 2 weeks. Here's another one where I spent roughly $700 or so within 2 week period, and made back $5,083.03. So all of a sudden, these campaigns came in pretty consistently. And that's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love passive income. I mean, who doesn't? But it even gets better. Here's why. I did not build any websites or landing pages or blogs or anything like that. I actually ran straight to the offers. I didn't write any follow-up sequences. And I know you're probably thinking, Igor, what? I've been following you for years, man. What do you mean you didn't write any follow-up sequence? The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you write an email. And you're right. That's exactly what I do. But for these campaigns, guys, I didn't have to. It's just ran straight to the offer. I didn't capture the leads. I didn't really like do any sort of follow-up. It's just a straight up, to the sales page sort of thing. I didn't reveal myself to the customers. So whoever was clicking on my links and my ads actually did not know it was me. There was no Igor, no brand, no identity, no revealing anything about myself. I didn't introduce them to my family. I didn't tell them about my hobbies or the cars that I drive. It just straight to the offer. I didn't do anything black hat. I didn't create any content, which literally means I did not post on social media. I did not write any articles, did not shoot any videos. I didn't create anything, right? No pages, nothing. I didn't use any social media. But it gets better yet, because do you know how much time it took me to build each campaign? Half an hour, guys. half an hour. So it's not like I had to go on a 3-day research project. Like, honestly, no. Half an hour to build a campaign that ends up producing such crazy ROI and affiliate commissions. That's pretty insane. And that's why I'm saying, and I don't think it's going to last forever. I think we're seeing something incredible here. And this is a window of opportunity for those who are able to act quickly and those who are able to be brave about it. Because at some point, people are going to catch up. At some point, the rest of the world is going to catch up with how good Microsoft ads are. Because Microsoft ads is more than just a source of quality traffic. Because until the masses catch up, Microsoft ads enables pretty much anyone to make passive income online. And I'm talking without building websites and without really doing anything. It just is, as long as they have an affiliate link to a product that converts, it's a good product that solves some kind of problem, has demand, and a small advertising budget starting with as little as $10 per day. It's pretty insane. In fact, let me just, again, show you how to make passive income without a website, product, social media profile, nothing. Like, you can literally go to your local library or something, as long as you have a computer, because I don't think you can set all this stuff up from a mobile device, and you can follow these 4 steps in order to start making passive income. Check this out. First, you'll go on ClickBank. You'll select a product that pays good commissions, that pays at the very least about $50 per sale. Then you'll create a free Microsoft Ads account, a free account. Then you'll set up your campaign in 30 minutes, where you will not build a website, you will not build a landing page, you will write no content or create no content. You'll do no social media marketing of any kind. You will not sign up for an autoresponder. You will not write an email sequence. You will not host a podcast. You will not do any webinars. You will simply write the ad, which, if you're smart, you won't even come up with that ad from scratch. You'll just be kind of taking that information from the affiliate program JV page, where they tell you what to say in your ads, or you can just look at their website and copy what they're saying on their website. And then you watch your numbers and you cut the losers and scale your winners, just like I did here, where I spent $104.92 and made, if my mental math is correct, actually I don't need to do mental math. I was looking at the wrong side of the screen here, already done the math, where I made $1.3 thousand in commissions, which is a 1,332% return on ad spend. Now, even with the refunds, because it's ClickBank, there's always some refunds, but let's say 20% refunds, you take 20% off of the $1.4 thousand, that's about 280, let's say $300. You're still left with $1,096 or for an ad spend of $104 or $105. That's still over 1,000% return on ad spend. Show me a traffic source that can do something crazy like that, right? It's pretty insane. I mean, have you seen anything like this? When was the last time you've seen a direct linking produce those sort of results? Because for me, that's novel. That's something I haven't seen in a long time. Now, what about compliance? Because as an affiliate marketer, you should be thinking about compliance. Will you get banned if you're promoting affiliate products? Because on Facebook, you will get banned. On Google, you will most certainly will get banned. Now, here's the deal about Microsoft. Microsoft can suspend accounts, but they don't tend to suspend accounts for promoting affiliate stuff. In fact, they tend to suspend accounts for completely different reasons that have nothing to do with the offer you're promoting, because most of the suspensions I've dealt with when I manage account on behalf of clients actually have nothing to do with their actual offer, because they happen before any offers run. This is pretty insane, but I'll get back to this a little bit later. What I can tell you now is that they have rules, and if you don't violate them, and if you talk to them in a nice way, they will not only not ban you, but even if they did ban you, they know to admit mistakes and they can lift the ban from your account. Plus, unlike Facebook and unlike Google, you actually can call them. Now, again, how many times have you seen on the internet a platform, an advertising platform that actually has a phone number with a person that picks up the phone. I know about you. I don't know many platforms like that. Even Google will only allow you to chat with them, although their chat is pretty good, at least in the last couple of years. But only Microsoft will allow you to actually pick up the phone and call them, and for a human person to speak to you and explain things to you. Now, Microsoft Ads, again, in my humble yet accurate opinion, is the best kept traffic secret of the digital marketing world right now, especially if you're an affiliate marketer, because you can get away with lots of things and you can get lots of quality traffic for cheap. Now, does it work for stuff outside of affiliate marketing? Like, what if you have your own stuff or your own business? Yeah, absolutely. I have my own business, as you know, and here's on Google, I'm getting leads roughly at 25 or so on average per lead. Same thing, same campaign, same landing pages, same everything on Microsoft Ads gets me for 6 to 11 average cost per lead, which is about 3 times less than that, five to 3 times, 3 to 5 times. Okay, so yeah, Microsoft Ads works, even if you're not an affiliate marketer. And what I really like about it is that even for keywords such as make money online, or keywords such as weight loss, or burn fat, or belly fat, which are really, really competitive keywords on Google, we're still seeing super low average cost per click. It's insane, like it's ridiculous. And again, because of how good it is, I don't think that this will last forever. Like in 10 years, I don't think this is the situation we're going to see. So I think right now is the window of opportunity for someone who's willing and able to take action quickly to come in and make some serious money relatively easy with very little competition. Because my guess, 5 years from today, Microsoft Ads will be as big as Google. So then, of course, again, another big question is, okay, Igor, we see the stats. We see that Microsoft Ads is awesome. We see your ROI. Why isn't everyone in on this yet? I have 4 reasons to believe why this happens. This is all educated guessing. This is not accurate data. This is just my sort of expert opinion on the digital marketing world based on my knowledge of the industry and being in it for many, many years. Well, first off, I believe they've been running Facebook and Google Ads for so long, it's just they're comfortable. Because very few people are willing to move away from something that they know, even if it's not as good as it used to be. You probably know people like that in your life where they complain about things not being the same way today as they were 10, 20, 30 years ago, and yet they do nothing to change the situation. Does anyone know people like that in their life? Give me a yes, no in the chat. Like, I know a ton of people like that. Yeah. So I'm seeing yeses coming in. All right, cool. Yeah. So there's tons of people like that. Now chat is stuck on top of the screen. Yeah. Sorry. The second reason is they think it's a fad. Those who know of this and those who see the results, they probably think, yeah, but anything that's not Google and not Facebook typically is a fad, and therefore it will pass, which I don't agree. Microsoft is a serious player. They have an insane user base. Remember, so many computers, so many tablets, so many devices out there are sold by Microsoft. So much software is being used, especially in the business world, by Microsoft. And the Microsoft user base is actually larger than Mac or, if you will, iOS or Apple user base when it comes to computers, especially when it comes to computers. iPhone may be a very cool device, but from a standpoint of amount of people using it, there's still a lot of people out there who aren't using iPhones. Now they're probably using Androids that are made by Google and Samsung and stuff like that. There's also a lot of people who use Windows devices of all sorts, and we're talking hundreds of millions of people. Now, how many people do you actually need to make money online, honestly? Like, how many clicks do you need to make good money if the clicks are targeted? We're literally talking, maybe a couple of hundred clicks per week, and you're good to go. Now, the third reason I think why is I don't think they think it's cool. Like, there's a certain there's a certain feeling you get when you can tell people, yeah, I'm advertising with Google, or yeah, I'm on Facebook, right? You don't necessarily get the same sort of aura when you say, yeah, I'm advertising on Bing search engine. It's like, it doesn't sound cool. And the fourth reason, I honestly believe that a lot of people are genuinely surprised when they find out that Microsoft even has an advertising business. Like my neighbor across the street, his name is Michael. So he sells these indoor home gyms for kids. And he's been doing Google AdWords for a long, long time. And about a year ago, he stopped doing all paid ads on Google and Facebook because it became too expensive. And I told him, hey, are you using Microsoft ads? And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, I'm like, well, Microsoft, they have ads. And he said, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know people actually use Microsoft to search for things. And so I helped him set up a campaign in like maybe 20 minutes. And the same day he started getting traffic to his indoor gym. All of a sudden inquiries are coming in, and he's paying about 60, maybe 70 cents per click for keywords like indoor kid playground, indoor kid gym equipment, and things like that. So it's really, really targeted traffic. Now, the super affiliates, however, they're already in on it. Like some people within my masterminds and the people I know they know about Microsoft ads. It's just they're not telling. And some of them are quietly maximizing their income by using it before the masses catch on, right? That's what affiliates tend to do. If you're an affiliate marketer and you have an upper advantage, if you're an upper hand, then you don't tend to tell about it to other people. But some people, like for example, my friend Gaur Chowdhury, who's a well-known CPA guy, they do teach this stuff inside their private masterminds to which I belong. Publicly, though, they will never discuss it. Publicly, they'll say things like go on Facebook, of course, because that's what everyone else is saying. So with that in mind, here's a question I got for you. Do you regret not buying Bitcoin before it went mainstream? And I think at this point you're like, Igor, of course I do, but what the hell does this have to do with anything? So, I'm sure there's at least one person on this call who bought Bitcoin when it cost like $5. There's always one guy, but for most of us, we missed the boat on Bitcoin, didn't we? We missed the boat even though we had the opportunity to get into it when Bitcoin was really, really cheap. We didn't get into it even though we heard about it because it didn't sound safe. We didn't know much about it. Maybe we were brought up and, to think that it's better to invest in physical assets like a house and yada, yada, yada. Even today, when I go to the bank and they ask me, where am I sending all this money? And I say to a crypto exchange to buy some Bitcoin. The tellers in the bank, they're like, oh, yeah, well, I don't believe in that stuff. I think it's a bubble, blah, 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 blah. But, for the last, I don't know, 8 years or even more, this quote unquote bubble has made a lot of money to a lot of people. And yet there's still a lot of like people who don't believe in it. And all while there's literally thousands of multi-millionaires that are created as we speak, doing absolutely nothing. Right. So again, the question, do you regret not buying Bitcoin before it went mainstream? I'm the first in line to say yes, but I'm just curious in the chat, guys. Let me see what you think. So yeah, definitely. Sharon says no. Larry says nope. I own Apple. Okay, got it. Serge invested. Lance says bought 500 and got rid of it too early. Ken says bought at 4K, sold at 13. Yes, only some e-wallets. Kent Crowder spilled milk. Bought 300 in 2018. Wow, amazing! This was a good move. I have a bunch of Ethereum, says Marcus. Got into late. Anthony says I missed out completely, says Bryson. All right. Awesome. So yeah, obviously we all regret that, right? Same question. Do you regret not buying Tesla stock, or, Larry, of course, will say Apple stock, when it costs $3, right? Probably do, because Tesla jumped a lot. And if you just invested $1,000 into Tesla, years ago, it would now make you a lot of money. What about real estate? So maybe you don't agree on stocks, maybe you don't agree with me on crypto, but what about real estate? If you just bought a real estate unit 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and maybe you've had the opportunity to do so, but you didn't, would that real estate property cost a lot more money now? And if you were to sell it, you'd be in a huge profit. Plus, it being your primary residence probably resulted in you cashing out a lot. So I'm asking these absolutely rhetorical questions because now you have a chance to leverage Microsoft Ads. And I know that even though you see the data and the stats, I know many of you will not answer correctly to the following question. Would you like to join the ranks of the people who became millionaires as a result of jumping in on a traffic source that was affordable and at the same time quality enough to generate conversions? In other words, would you like to join us, people like me and people like the super affiliates I hang out with? Would you like to join us and use Microsoft Ads? Because, again, for many of you, you're going to see these stats, you're going to see this data, and you're like, I don't know, right? So, but it's worth asking the question. Would you like to join the ranks of the people who took advantage of this opportunity? Just like the people who took advantage of Facebook became rich, just like the people who took advantage of Google in the early 2000s became rich, just like the people who invested in something like Bitcoin or some kind of stock or some kind of real estate became rich, right? I think you should. I think you should want to join us, right? Because would you really want to squander this opportunity? I really hope not, because it'd be a crying shame, especially if you have lots of regrets on squandering opportunities that came before it, opportunities with Facebook, opportunities with Google, opportunities with Bitcoin, opportunities with all kind of stock and whatever else that may have happened in your life. Now, the thing is, though, as much as I would like to teach you how to use Microsoft Ads on this one call, that I can't, right? And the purpose for this webinar was to get you excited and to make you see and understand how incredible the Microsoft Ads as an opportunity has become, and to have you at least start thinking about joining the ranks of the people who use Microsoft Ads to run traffic and make money. And so from here, I had two choices. I could either send you off and have you start searching on the internet on your own. And we all know where this ends up leading, right? It's overwhelm. It's really difficult to deal with. Anxiety. The internet is just full of information to a point where it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. It's really hard to digest, and you don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know who's teaching the right stuff, and you don't know who to listen to, right? I mean, did anyone have this experience, or is it just me? Let me look in the chat. Let me see. So did you ever go online researching a topic only to find out that 6 hours later, you're going down yet another rabbit hole, and you're now researching a completely different thing from the thing you started with? All of a sudden, there's 15 more search terms you need to run through, and it become a lot more overwhelming than you thought when you got started. Yep. So Russell, Sharon, Ron, Joseph, Joel, Eric, Matthew, Lance, Ken, Aaron, Jean-Paul, Philippe, Anthony, Andy, Onantho, Robin, Marcus, Bo, Lino, Lisa. Yep. Exactly. Matthew says Alice in Wonderland. Exactly, Alice in Wonderland. So, which is why I don't like option number one. I really don't like this option. I don't imply that I know exactly what you're going through right now, but do any of these hit home for you? You enjoy learning, but at this point, you're just too overwhelmed from going through tons of courses, reading books, watching webinars, listening to podcasts, and you wish to be just told of one strategy that you can follow, which has a high probability of success. Just give me a yes, no in the chat for each one of them. Yeah, okay. Do you find it hard to deal with technical side of online business? And do you want to avoid the technical side if possible? And if you can't avoid it, would you like to be held by the hand and told what to do? So yes, no. Give me a quick yes no in the chat. Yeah, yes for most of you. You don't do well without a blueprint or a plan. You need an easy to understand plan to follow. True or false? Yeah, true for most of you. Yeah. Time is your most precious resource. You prefer to hire mentors and advisors to cut your learning curve. And this is especially, should be especially true for those of you who are probably over the age of 30, maybe 40, and not so much for those of you who are like 22-year-olds who still have lots of, you know, zest for life and you think you have time, which of course is not true because you're going to blink a couple of times and you're going to be 42 instead of 22 and you'd be like, wow, did that go fast? True or false, time is your most precious resource. Yeah, true for most of you. Of course it's true. You are willing to invest in advertising, but you can't afford many mistakes. So you're careful about where you put your money. Now, this is just something that I've picked up after years and years and years of both teaching and doing paid advertising. That is, most people, it's not like they're not willing to invest, it's just they don't want to be reckless. So true or false, like you can invest in ads, but you need some kind of a strategy. You need to have a reason to believe that these ads will turn out to be profitable. Yep. True for most of you. And you can work hard if needed, but you prefer to work smart to get the most out of your efforts, time, and budget, especially those of you who are still working a day job or running a business, because both can be equally demanding, especially if you have clients. I was just speaking to David yesterday, or was it the day before? And, you know, that's the issue. You know, you're just busy, right? Everyone wants a piece of you. The phone is ringing off the hook. There's like 15 gazillion emails to answer. And eventually it just becomes impossible to catch up on anything that you want to do outside of work. So true or false? You can work hard, but you prefer to work smart. Yeah. All right. So for that group of people, for those of you who said yes to any of these, there's an option number 2 where I would like to show you what to do step by step. Okay. Now, the catch is very simple because the question you should be asking is, Igor, why would you do that? Aren't you creating competition for yourself? You just said that Microsoft Ads will not stay good forever. There's a window of opportunity here. Why are you coming out and inviting us? Because you're just basically creating more competition, aren't you? And you're right to say that. And thing is that when I was starting out in affiliate marketing, I was struggling for a very, very long time to make my first sale. There's many of you on this webinar who are familiar with my story, and you know that it took me 8.5 months to make my first dollar online. And that 8.5 months went all into one thing, trying to understand traffic, trying to get some traffic for free. At which point, of course, I switched and I started looking into paid traffic techniques and still trying to do some free traffic and blogging and video and stuff like that. But eventually, you know, after spending a lot of time trying to do all that stuff, I shifted my attention elsewhere. And the way it happened was that I was browsing the Warrior Forum and I read a thread about something called solo ads. At the time, it was an emerging traffic technique, and it basically allowed anyone to rent an email list and run a promotion to that list. And at the time, you can only buy a solo ad through a small group, from a small group of marketers who were who invited you into a special Skype room or Skype chat room, if you will. It was like a very exclusive community. You couldn't just kind of walk off the street. You had to know someone inside, and it wasn't mainstream at all. And I was able to secure an invitation into one of these groups and run a few solo ads myself. And as soon as I did, I started to quickly generate sales. And I realized I was onto something amazing here. And while I continued to make money by buying solo ads, I've also become the leading educator on the topic of solo ads in the digital marketing community over time. And I started selling courses on how to run solo ads correctly, how to achieve higher conversions, and how to track your results and everything that has to do with that. And I even started a group where I recommend solo ad providers I worked with to my students. And eventually, I also started selling my own solo ads and started a solo ads agency that became the largest solo ad agency in the world. In fact, I even had an article written about me in a magazine called Early to Rise, that kind of told the world my story about how I became, quote unquote, an advertising guru, even though I continue to live virtually the exact same lifestyle today as I did before I became successful. It's a very quiet, down to earth, at home, family, sort of family oriented lifestyle. The only difference is I have a better house. I live in Toronto instead of Israel, and I drive a much better car. My kids get the best toys, and but in terms of like values, nothing really changed. It's pretty much stayed the same. Now, so what am I saying by this? Well, here's what happened. Like, this actually created several amazing outcomes for me, like coming out and telling the world about SoloAds and taking SoloAds mainstream, because that's exactly what I've done. Number one, I made a lot of money helping people master SoloAds. So not just I was making money by buying them, I also was making money by helping other people master them as a strategy. So that's nice. Number two, I made tons of industry connections that led to more opportunities because now I was seen as a guy with a skill, right? So I was now becoming somebody who everyone knew as the SoloAd guy, and that opened the doors for me into different masterminds. I got invited to speak, and basically just kind of became my calling card, and everyone wanted to be friends with me all of a sudden because they knew I had a skill that I could offer. Now, number three is my SoloAd coaching programs created tons of success stories, helping regular people start making passive income online. And many actually went on to become multi-millionaires within about 3 to 5 years or so. And that's awesome. That's something that I will probably remember on my deathbed, that I helped some people tremendously improve their lives. And of course, that created a ripple effect because those people went on to help their communities and so on and so forth. And number four, I made lifelong friendships that shaped the course of my life, that kind of started out related to SoloAds, but ended up becoming very personal. So when I stumbled into Microsoft Ads and I saw its potential, and I've tested this and I tested it again and I tested it again, I thought to myself, why not do it again? Because I had a deja vu. Like at the time though, when I'm just getting into SoloAds, I wasn't really making money yet, right? SoloAds became the reason I started making money. But right now, I'm already making a ton of money. Aside from this, I'm not going to hurt my own income if I invite you into the program or show you how to do this. But most importantly, what's going to happen is that at worst, I'm going to help a bunch of you start making some seriously easy money using Microsoft Ads and affiliate marketing, and others will be able to take their affiliate income to the next level if they're already making money with affiliate marketing outside of Microsoft Ads. Now, at best, I'm going to do that plus become the go-to Microsoft Ads guy, like I've become the go-to guy for SoloAds, and only good stuff may come from that because I'm still here in the industry, and I plan to remain in the industry. I'm kind of claiming my stake in the game, right? And I feel that Microsoft Ads is going to be a big part of where the industry is shifting. So I want to be positioned as the go-to guy for that. And the first step is to come out and teach this stuff to other people, work out how to help people understand Microsoft Ads and run the ads. And that would be the first step. So with that said, my question to you is this. Would you like me to show you how to make passive income using Microsoft Ads and affiliate marketing? Give me a yes or a no in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, my chat, I'm like, it's got hundreds of messages now. It's like, I think I need to be scrolling up a lot. Yeah, so I'm getting lots and lots of yeses here. Let me see. So it's, Aaron says, Igor, the Microsoft Ads king. So it's a yes from Lance, Matthew, Ken, Anthony, Nordia, Carl, Aaron, Russell, Eric, Lino, Robin, Serge, Joseph, Fabian, Jimmy, Lisa, Rito, Ron, Andy, Mariella, Sharon, Joe, John, Marcus, Tan, Sherry, Eric, Chris, Mark, Andy, Olaboda, Paul, Eric, and Olaboda again, Jean-Paul, Philippe, Jeremiah, and Rod. Awesome. and Christopher and many others who are still posting in the chat. Okay, so from this point forward, this is what's going to be about. I'm going to tell you about how I can help you start making passive income with Microsoft Ads and affiliate marketing by having you enroll in something that I call MADS Academy. MADS is a short for Microsoft Ads, of course, but it also has a nice ring to it. So what's first in MADS Academy? First and foremost, it's about keyword research, how to find targeted low competition keywords using a free software, and how to find the brand keywords to get in front of people who are already looking for the product you're promoting, which is probably going to be the warmest audience period that you can hope to get in front of when it comes to affiliate marketing. If somebody's already searching for like a like a camera, right? Someone searching for Canon 70S. Like if you're bidding for that keyword and you're advertising Canon, then your chances of getting a conversion are a lot higher. Now, also how to find brand competitor keywords, even if you know nothing about the product or a market you're promoting. It's also a powerful technique. And how to find relevant niche keywords outside of what everyone else is targeting using a free app, as well as how to get Microsoft to give you the best keywords to use themselves, like to tell you which keywords are most competitive, least competitive, and what you're supposed to be bidding on those. Okay, so that's the first component. The second component is high click-through ads. I'll show you how I write high click-through ads, search ads, in 60 seconds, and how I fix low click-through ads without writing entirely new ads, okay? As well as how I make Microsoft show my ads in the search results, even though my competitors are bidding double for the same spot. It's actually a trick that you can leverage within their system that runs the algorithm and it decides who to show based on a different criteria other than your bid. Although the bid is important, there's actually another one that's also super important. And when the ratio that you have is higher than your competitors, you can actually get the same spot for a lot less money. As well as how I split test ads to find winning ads that I can scale, which is also, of course, really important, because when it comes to search ads, if your ad is shown, say, 100 times in one day, and your click-through rate is 1%, that means you're getting a click, one click per day. And you're of course paying for that click. But if your ad is shown like say 100 times in a single day, but your click-through rate is 10%, guess what? You're going to get a lot more traffic, and you're probably going to end up paying less for that traffic as well, because Microsoft will reward you with a higher quality score. So this is another component of MADS Academy. Now, quality score. What is a quality score? Quality score is something that's really, really important, because Microsoft's number one priority is user experience. It's not advertiser experience, right? So they don't worry about you. They worry about their users who are running the searches. And as an advertiser, you're responsible for creating the best user experience for the user, period, and for the whole search network. So the better the user experience, the higher your quality score. And so Microsoft actually punishes advertisers with low quality score by either charging way more per click or not showing your ads at all. And sometimes they can even suspend your account if your quality score is consistently low across the account. So in other words, two advertisers can be running ads to the exact same keywords, but one will pay 30 cents per click while another will pay $3 per click. And the difference is going to be single-handedly decided by their quality score, which is measured on a scale of 10. So a high quality score or high quality score campaigns, they're basically the ultimate unfair advantage that you can have within the Microsoft Ads network over anyone else who's competing with you, because you get higher volume of targeted clicks at a cheaper cost per click. And what I want to show you is how I consistently get a quality score of 7 out of 10 or more with my campaigns, even in the most competitive niches like weight loss, personal development, and making money. Okay, this is really important. It's actually probably one of the most important things you can know and do for your Microsoft Ads campaigns. If you don't know this, you're probably going to be overpaying for your traffic. So this is also a component of MADS Academy, and I value it at a modest $12.97. Now, another component that's really important is Microsoft, just like any other business, they want to make money. So what they've done to the system is they've created about 24 settings and parameters that control your ad spend. And you want to think of these as tiny little holes in a bucket full of water. And the water in the bucket is your budget. So if enabled, these little settings and holes in this bucket, they leak your ad dollars, spending your ad budget on irrelevant clicks and impressions that don't convert, as well as they raise your cost per click. So you're paying more for the traffic, and you're basically getting traffic that ain't going to convert. Now, most of these parameters are enabled by default to encourage your spending. Because remember, Microsoft is there to make money. It's not only there so you can run some ads. They want to make money. And by doing so, they're probably making a lot more money than if they were not doing so. So by knowing which parameters to enable and which to disable, you can squeeze 3 to 10 times more clicks out of the exact same ad spend. And I want to show you how to turn off the money leaking settings to cut the unnecessary spending and get more out of every ad dollar that you've got. So even if you're driving traffic at $10 per day, that's still going to be a substantial amount of traffic. So this component is also there, and it's valued at $19.97. Now, one component that I also thought it'd be really, really important to include is what I call the advanced tracking, because you can scale what you can track. And without accurate tracking, you may be cutting winning campaigns and keywords while letting poor performing ones loose, right? So I'll tell you which tracking software to use, and I'll show you how to see which keywords produce sales and which ones drain your budget. And this is really important because this way you'll be able to quite literally scale the winners. So even if you're getting, say, 50 clicks in a day, and they come from 5 keywords, each keyword delivering 10 clicks, and only 2 of these keywords deliver any sales, you'll be able to cut the other keywords and simply allocate more budget to the winning keywords. As simple as that. Okay, so this is also a component of Mads Academy, and it's $997 value. And I also want to give you what I call the ClickBank Super Affiliate. It's really important because I'll show you how to find high converting ClickBank offers to promote, which ClickBank offers to stay away from, and how to create your affiliate links, as well as how to verify your link is actually tracking your referrals so you don't miss out on affiliate commissions. And I'll also show you how to find secret high converting landing pages that most ClickBank affiliates simply don't use in their promotions, that are actually supplied by the people who create the products and list them on ClickBank. So it's available to everyone, but most people just don't use it. So this component is valued at $29.97. So the total package, if you will, I value it at $11,782. Now, you're thinking, all right, Igor, so what's it gonna be? Give me, hit me. How much? Look, this is how much I spend monthly on Microsoft Ads right now, over $27,000. And this, just so you know, like I'm showing you this, so you know this is experience. Like what I'm teaching you here is not theory. It's not you watching some PowerPoint presentation by somebody who read a couple of articles about Microsoft and simply reiterates what they, learned online. No, this is like my experience, my money, and my lessons that I've learned through sheer trial and error, okay? Now, I estimate that it takes me about 5 hours to give you the rundown of everything you need to know and show you on screen what you need to do in order to start running your Microsoft Ads campaigns. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take you 5 hours to build your first campaign. No, I'm just saying that 5 hours is to show you everything you need to know, how to start campaigns, how to pick the offers, how to scale your campaigns, and how to basically kill the losers, okay? So to make you the king of Microsoft Ads, this is what I need. Now, I charge $3,000 for consulting. And yes, I do actually get paid that sort of money. Here's people wiring me money for consulting. Here's people wiring me lots of money for consulting, actually, for a package of consulting. Here's someone wiring me $14,000 for consulting. So yes, I do get paid that money. And so 5 hours of my time is actually about $15,000. Now, a reasonable value for what I'm about to show you in Mads Academy, just allowing you to enroll in Mads Academy, is my time and my monthly ad budget, which I use for testing, is roughly $42,135.97. And of course, it's totally worth it. But to charge that much money of someone who wants to make passive income online and trying, and maybe even been trying for a while, is probably going to be unfair. Is the word, right? Especially when I'm already making money myself. So it's not like I really need it. So I have a question for you. Give me a yes or no in the chat. What if you only paid 3% of the real price I should be charging for this? Yes, no in the chat. What if I gave you a 97% discount? So it would only cost you $14.97, which means all these components and all that I'm going to be showing you for just $1,497. Okay? Now, before you answer the question, though, you need to know two things. Very important. There's only going to be 10 spots at this price. And if you're amongst the first 5 people to join right now, you will get fast action bonuses, which include first bonus component, fast action bonus component is I'm going to show you how to set up your account. Because as I said earlier, Microsoft Ads suspends accounts for reasons different than Facebook and Google, but they still do suspend accounts. And most suspensions that I've encountered managing accounts for other people happen before we run any ads, during the account setup stage. And I found 2 primary reasons why your Microsoft Ads account may get suspended before you even submit your first ad. And I'll give you a step-by-step follow along with me training on over my shoulder where I'm walking through a brand new Microsoft advertising user on starting and setting up their account so they will avoid suspension. Okay, it's really important because for many of you who will do this on your own, when you're going to start your account, you'll probably end up getting suspended before you run any ads. It's pretty weird, but that's the truth with Microsoft. And so this bonus is, I value it at $29.97. In fact, it's probably worth more because there's no one in the world, not a single soul in the world who has that. Just so you understand, you cannot buy this anywhere, period. The second fast action bonus I want to give you is I want to give you 6 months of support, which means you're going to get weekly Monday calls at 1 p.m. Eastern. You will be able to ask questions by email. And if there's anything super weird or difficult, I will record a on-screen video showing you how to deal with the situation. Okay, that's a 6-month support for free. Now, this comes in an $18,000 price tag because that's how much it costs me to maintain a responsive support staff. So that's real value that comes out of my pocket over 6 months of $18,000. Another component, I'll show you something that I call the ad espionage. Successful people walk a proven path, often stepping over the dead trailblazers with arrows in their backs. This is to say that I don't want you to invent. I want you to copy what already works. No guesswork. So I'll show you how to spy on virtually anyone who is running Google Ads or Microsoft Ads to get the exact ads and the exact keywords that are working right now for the people or companies that you may want to compete with if you're entering a competitive space. In fact, you'll know what's working for them and what's not working for them. So you won't be copying stuff that doesn't work, but only stealing the stuff that does, okay? So this is valued at $49.97. Again, it's not something that people just openly talk about. Next component that you get if you're one of the first 5 people to join is what I call the secret affiliate programs. These are the closed door affiliate programs that pay $250, $500, $1,000, and $3,000 per referral. They're low competition and they are by invitation only, which means you're able to make a lot more money with the exact same traffic. I use these affiliate programs myself to make well over 6 figures with each of them every single year. And I highly recommend you use too, because they can be very lucrative and very profitable, oftentimes a lot more profitable than regular ClickBank offers. So this is valued at $19.97. Another component I want to give you again, never done before, at least by me, is what I call the CPA Bootcamp, where I show you how to promote CPA offers such as pay-per-lead, pay-per-call, pay-per-install, and other CPA offers using Microsoft Ads. I'll also give you a Rolodex of CPA networks that you can work with, and I guarantee approval as an affiliate. Like if you apply to that network, I guarantee approval into the world's largest CPA network, Max Bounty. I actually spoke to Max Bounty. I showed them the program. I showed them Mads Academy. And I said, hey, I want to be sending people your way. I'm going to have people who will join first, who will join fast. They'll get this bonus. I want to send them your way. Can you guarantee you'll approve my people? And they said, yes, we can. If they're going to drive traffic using Microsoft Ads, they said, we can. Okay, so guaranteed approval into Max Bounty. And of course, a from scratch, over-the-shoulder Microsoft Ads campaign setup for CPA offers, plus CPA tracking secrets, which allow you to track your campaigns much more accurately. So this is also valued at $19.97. Now, another component I want to give you is called the Big Money Affiliate. It shows you how I went from making $1,000 a week with affiliate marketing to making well over $10,000 a week, and how I 10x my affiliate commissions without increasing my traffic. Okay, so that's also yours. It's valued at $9.97. And finally, I also want to offer you a chance to partner with me. And that means that I will approve you into my own affiliate program, and I'll give you a 90% commission bump on $197, $497, and $997 offers. And I will also do your keyword research for you, telling you exactly which keywords to use to promote these products, as well as give you the ads you can use to promote these products. You don't have to write these ads from scratch. Okay, sounds good. These, by the way, are ads tested by me with my own money. So I know which ones get the higher CTR and the lowest average cost per click. So this is valued at $19.97, not available anywhere else, just a completely custom and exclusive bonus for you if you're one of the first 5 people to join. So if you would like to become one of the first 5 people and get these bonuses, remember there's a total of 10 spots for this program, Mads Academy. There's a total of 10 spots at this price. Then you need to go to igor.so/mads. Right now, you'll be redirected to PayPal. And when you're redirected to PayPal, you'll know what to do. Okay? So now we will take some questions from the audience. We have Lana. Lana, are you available to get on the mic? Probably not. Okay. Then I'll have to read out the question myself. All right. Cool, guys. So this is your chance to ask questions. Okay. And you ask the questions by typing them in the chat or typing them into the Q&A. And Lance says, paid done. Man, Major Sumner, always leading the way. I've always appreciated that about you, Major Sumner. By the way, Lance, when you submit your order, please also specify your shipping address. I'll put something in the mail for you. All right. So any questions about Microsoft Ads so far before I share some more exciting stuff with you? Really, no questions? Is it that clear? Oh, right. So James asks, what type of offer do you test? What type of offer do you test? Well, actually, the beauty of Microsoft Ads, James, is that I was able to start testing lots of different markets outside of my usual, if you will, area or territory. Like I actually show you inside Mads Academy how I started a campaign for a manifestation niche product. Then I show you another one for something that's basically like this powder that you mix with water and you have to drink it every day as soon as you wake up, and it increases your metabolism. There's campaigns for learning how to speak Spanish. There's campaigns for keto and just losing weight of any kind, relationships. I showed you one of the case studies I showed you here is women's health niche. It's for pelvic health. It's an offer there as well. I'm currently looking at a mole removing cream, which I'm actually pretty excited to test. I've also got a bunch of CPA offers that I really want to test that I still just haven't gotten around to. So when I'll be putting together the CPA bootcamp, I'll probably end up running campaigns to those. I've tested lots of physical like gadgets and physical products. So like I said, my neighbor who lives across the street, we've done the indoor home gym stuff with him. I got a buddy who's a lawyer, so we're going to be selling some legal templates. Like basically, it's like templates that you can you buy the template instead of paying a lawyer say $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. You can get the template for say $300, and then just fill in the blanks for your company name, and that's it. You're good to go. So basically, pretty much anything you can think of. Now, a couple of things that I wouldn't do. Probably I wouldn't do like app installs. Because I'm not really sure what sort of mobile devices you get on when it comes to Windows, although they do have lots of traffic. So if it comes to, say, app installs for Android and stuff like that, I'm not really sure if that can work. But there's plenty of things you can do. What you cannot do is you definitely cannot promote prescription drugs, and you cannot promote products that make outrageous claims like. You shouldn't like run an ad that says lose 25 pounds in 2 days, right? Something crazy like that. That should not be. That will not get approved for one, but it may also get you in trouble with Microsoft. So I wouldn't do it. Like you have to keep things reasonable when it comes to the claims. You know what I mean? So hope that answers your question, Kent. So. How do I move this to answered? Okay, there we go. Awesome. Let's see what else we got. So will Microsoft Ads accept a ClickBank affiliate sales page? Yes, Microsoft Ads will accept a ClickBank sales page. And I show it inside Mads Academy. I literally take a ClickBank sales page like a VSL. It's like a headline and a video. And you can just promote that straight up. Let's see what else. People are asking about a done-for-you program. At this time, I'm not taking on a done-for-you clients because I have a few clients, and I've taken on a bit too many. So I need to get the workload off my shoulders, get people up and running, and then I will take maybe I will take clients. But again, guys, don't expect it. Okay, because imagine what it's like to manage 20 different accounts. It's pretty intense. Like at that point, that's what my life becomes, kind of managing different ad accounts. It's not my idea of fun, but I may develop a way to do it without overwhelm in the future. For now, only the clients I've already taken, I will manage them, but I'm not looking to take on new clients. Or if I do, then maybe 1 or 2 per month tops. Okay, that's just, again, not something that I find to be scalable. That's all. So, and it also has to be exciting, like for example, I'm very excited about promoting Larry's offer, right? Because he's teaching people how to not validate, but how to grow their wealth by managing their money in a smart way. Like I'm actually excited about bringing that message out to the world. Okay, what else? Does email list strategy still work with Microsoft Ads? Actually, yeah. Here's the deal. Microsoft Ads is so good it works without list building. And if you want to build a list, it of course works. Yes, of course it works. I build my list using Microsoft Ads in parallel to running affiliate campaigns as well, especially in the niches where I don't plan to build a list, like weight loss, for instance. But if you want to build a list, and many of our super funnel members are actually building the list, yeah, definitely you do it with Microsoft Ads. your average cost per lead is going to be much lower than on Google and Facebook, for sure. All right. Now, somebody asks about a money-back guarantee. So, guys, if you feel you need a guarantee for this, you should probably not enroll in the program, because at this point, I've done my due diligence. Not due diligence, but like I've done my I guess quote unquote debt to society, if you will. If you still don't trust me after all the available information online, after looking at our Trustpilot reviews or anything, just don't get into the program. Leave the spot for the 10 people who will get in, and just don't get in. There's no money back guarantee, because I only want people who are committed, who are serious. And of course, I do reserve the right for myself to kick anyone out of the program in case they become a pain in the ass. And of course, if I do that, I will refund their money. Oh, that's an interesting question. Is it good to promote luxury cigars and high-end alcoholic beverages? Now, to be honest with you, I do not have the information to be able to answer this question right now on the call, because I never had to look this up, right? So I don't know what their relationship to alcohol and smoking is. I know that alcohol is not allowed on Facebook, for example. But you know what? If you want to find out, why don't you look up some cigar names or cigar brands or high-end alcohol brands on yahoo.com, for example, and see if there's any paid ads in that niche. If you don't find any paid ads, probably it's not going to be allowed. Yeah. So, but I just never ran ads in that vertical, so I don't know. And of course, if you do run the search and you find out, please let us know in the chat. Okay, so here's a great question. I was actually waiting for this one. Bob is asking, how long do you think Microsoft Ads will have good prices for months or years to come? So my estimate, because they've only become good, like usable, in the last, I would say, 6 to 12 months, we have at least 3, maybe 4 years left to really squeeze Microsoft Ads before we need to start adjusting the strategy, maybe optimizing differently and things like that. But in my experience, based on the way traffic sources develop these days, we have at least 3 to 4 years to get going, which I think right now is the perfect time to get in. But again, I want to remind everyone who still haven't heard me say that it's not going to last forever. Okay, it's not going to last forever. There will be an expiration date on Microsoft Ads in terms of price versus value ratio. And I really hope that I'm making this clear and exciting enough for you to see the value of what's happening here and to ride this wave as it's now starting to come up. Because when the masses catch up, which they usually take a while, like see Bitcoin, right? I showed you the Bitcoin chart. Where is it? Yeah, so the masses take a long time to catch up. See, a really long time. With traffic, this may be a slightly shorter time frame, but still, the masses do take a while to catch up. So their inability to see and understand the value of how it's all done, that's our advantage. And I've seen this too many times to pass on this opportunity now. Like I've actually, believe it or not, I've ignored Facebook for about 3 to 4 years, even though a lot of my friends were saying about how easy it is for them to advertise on Facebook. I could have made a lot of money with Facebook, but I really missed that boat because they were advertising when the clicks were super cheap and Facebook wasn't even banning anyone. But that changed at some point, guys. That definitely changed. Now, Steve's asking, what happens if I already have an account? Will ad? Oh, okay. So if you already have a Microsoft Ads account, whether you've used it before or not, the Mads Academy is still good for you. It's not like you're not allowed to have a Microsoft Ads account if you want to join the program. No. And here's the deal. In fact, I'll even go as far as saying this. We have a client. His name is David. He's now been a client with us for, I think, over a year. Good client, great guy. Recently came back. He was taking a break to some health issues. So he had a Microsoft Ads account for a long time, but he didn't use it. And he came back, he reinitiated the account, and guess what happened? Got suspended, right? So like I said, Microsoft suspends accounts for different reasons. So he got suspended, but we told him what to do. He contacted them, they unsuspended him. But it's just an example of how, unknowingly, things like that can happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you already have a Microsoft Ads account, whether you used it before or not, this will be very, 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 very useful to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Aaron is asking, so a proper funnel would work better than directly to the sales page with Microsoft Ads, correct? So Aaron, yeah, well, that's true for virtually anything. A proper funnel where you build your list will always be better than direct linking to a sales page. But Microsoft Ads at this point in time is so good that it actually allows you to direct link. See what I mean? Now, of course, you have to remember this. When you're building your list and you're quote unquote using your proper funnel, you have the added benefit of longevity through building an asset, which is why I've always advocated list building. So that doesn't go anywhere. This is still true. That's still very, very true about anything you do online. But with that in mind, still, Microsoft is so good that it actually allows you to direct link, which I haven't seen in a while. Okay, Willie is asking, can I promote, so will I get anything in the mail? I signed up. So first off, welcome aboard, Willie. Willie, you should have been redirected to a page where you're creating an account. If you haven't been, I will actually send this link to Lana right now, so she can send it over to, actually, no, I can't remember the link. Lana will have to get it from our team, and then she'll send it to you in the chat, and she will also follow up with you over the phone and using your email in case you did not get the link. But you were supposed to get redirected from PayPal to a link that allows you to start an account. Same thing for anyone else who joined and didn't get redirected. Please contact our support. And Lana will post the address in the chat for that. Next up. Okay, so David says, lots of alcohol and cigar ads on Bing and Yahoo. Yeah, so there you go. You can promote cigars and alcohol on Yahoo, Bing, MSN, Live, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, this is a good question. I actually missed it. I was supposed to tell you about this. What is a realistic monthly budget to have to make at least 3 to 5K per month? So this is the question by Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, this is a bad question in the way it's phrased. Let me give you a different question that is a much better question. You only need about $10 per day to start your campaign running. So even if you don't have a lot of cash to outlay right away, you can actually scale starting with a very little daily budget. And then from there, you can scale your campaigns when you see the profits. And the beauty of it is, if you run a campaign and you spend, $200 and you haven't seen any results, you can kill that campaign without losing a ton of money and go start testing a different product. Because when it comes to affiliate offers, you will not always have a winner right away, right? You will run a campaign, you will spend some money, you're like, oh, that stuff doesn't convert. Kill it, move on to the next product. Got it? This is the philosophy. With affiliate products, when you direct link, you don't get attached, you don't get married to them. It's like dating on Tinder. Swipe left, swipe right. You spend some money, it didn't produce results, kill the campaign, start a new one. A new campaign takes about 30 minutes to start. So this way, you're actually moving through different tests quickly. But once you find your winner, Jeremiah, once you found the winner, that's when things will get really interesting, okay? All right. Oh, Wait, need to move this thing. Okay. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. I'll take one more before I continue. Benedict Benedict asks, have you tested AI writing tools to help write your ads? Now, if you're referring to the tool that John Benson developed, no, I have not used it. No, but if you already have access to it, I think you can use it. I think you can check it out and see if it writes good ads. Like, I actually show you inside how I write my ads. And what you'll see is that I don't really do much creative work when it comes to search ads. There's a couple of reasons for that. First off, you're often supplied all the needed ad copy by the people who created the product, right? So they tell you what to say in your ads. Also, their website or sales page often gives you tons of ideas. If you just read their ad copy on their sales pages, you'll have a ton of ideas what to write your ads about. And third, the thing about search ads, you're limited by character count. So you're only allowed 30, I believe, characters in the headline, and you're only allowed several headlines, and then you're allowed a 90-character description. So there's really not much copywriting you'll be doing. In fact, I don't think you'll be spending more than maybe a few minutes, maybe if you suck, maybe 10 minutes on the copywriting for your ads. Honestly, I don't think so, because when you write the ads, you're guided by the offer you're promoting and the keywords you're using, because you have to maintain a really high quality score. So there's really not much of a leeway as far as what you can say, but that is also a good thing, because by putting you in these constraints, you really don't end up sitting there staring at a blank screen. You know exactly what your ad is supposed to say in terms of the theme of the ad. So yeah, I don't think there's a need in AI copywriting for this, to be honest with you. Okay, so Robin says he was not redirected, or she, I'm not sure. So if you were not redirected, please email us, and we will send you the link to sign up. And within the members area, we're going to be populating the members area with bonuses. Now, there are some components that are still missing as of right now, which are the CPA Bootcamp, I believe, is missing. I haven't recorded that yet, but they will be coming up within the next, probably in the next week, maybe 10 days. So in the meantime, you have the core of it on how to start and run your campaigns. And if anything else is missing, if there's any gaps for anything, just email us and we will get it sorted, okay? I promise. But remember, this is the first time I came out to teach Microsoft Ads, so probably I've forgotten some things, or otherwise taken some things for granted, as in, you know, oh, this is obvious. But as it turns out, for other people, it may not be. So all I'm asking is, of course, a little bit of patience, but also to be open and honest and say, hey guys, so this is missing for me. Can you do this? Can you add this to the training? Can you do this to the Rolodex? Can you share this resource? And so on and so forth. And we will improve it with you, okay? We will add to it if needed. We will reshoot parts of it if needed. Of course, there's also the coaching calls we're going to be doing. So you're going to be able to ask the questions and to make suggestions. So again, just be honest with us, communicate, and we'll get everything sorted. And if you need any support, then Lana's posting in the chat where you can get that support right now. All right, so we're going to do more questions in a bit. I want to carry on, and I want to share a few more things. So many of you, I don't know, I guess some of you at least, but me for a fact, I got into the online marketing scene because I wanted to live the 4-hour work week. Anyone else got bitten by this bug? I mean, at least a few. Yeah? let me bring up the chat. Wait, I think my chat got stuck. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Awesome. Yeah. So anyone here read the book? Anyone here read the 4-Hour Work Week? Aaron, Marcus, Nordia, Lance for sure. Robin says, oh yeah, the bug bites. Yep. Diego says, read it and was sold on the idea. Yep. Oh, Sharon didn't read it. Sharon, I highly recommend you check it out, just for the idea, not for the specifics of how that idea ought to be achieved. So basically, the 4-Hour Work Week, when I started, And when I read it, the way Timothy Ferriss was actually getting to it was he was using Google AdWords, right? The Google AdWords was very affordable. So to him, run cheap ads to a product, sell a supplement. It was amazing, right? It was so easy. Now, not the same thing. It's a different, a different environment, a different landscape, a different marketplace. It's a different world. And the 4-hour work week is a bit of a dream, unattainable for many people. And so when I've stumbled into Microsoft Ads and started testing, and I've seen all the testing results, I knew that it's that, because it truly does allow for the 4-hour work week if all you do is just run campaigns directly to the offers. No emails, no landing pages, no nothing, just literally just doing that. So the problem, though, why most people never achieve the 4-hour work week online is because when they try to drive traffic using free methods, it's lots and lots and lots of manual labor, right? And I know this for myself because I've done all these, manual labor things: blogging, social media marketing, podcasting, forum marketing, quorum marketing, cold outreach, search engine optimization, video marketing. And you see, the problem, first of all, it doesn't work. But if it does, even if it does work, the problem is that it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable, right? And at some point, it just gets so tired and overwhelming that you can't continue. So that's why the key to freedom, the key to the 4-hour work week is automated traffic. That's the key. And if you don't have this, if you don't have an automated source of traffic that converts, you're done. There's never going to be any freedom for you online. And so for me, this is what Microsoft Ads is. It's the big red traffic button. I mean, I know it sounds a bit bizoppy, but it's exactly what it is. And you'll see it inside Mads Academy when I build a new campaign and this campaign starts getting traffic. It's just, it's really crazy. I think one of these days I may even do a webinar where I start a campaign at the beginning of the webinar, then I check back in by the time I finish it to see if there were any clicks. So, and also to answer the budget question that Jeremiah asked earlier, look, $10 a day, a campaign of $10 a day delivered 266 clicks. Like, so Microsoft, unlike other platforms like Google, for instance, like they allow you to bid a little bit and send you trickles of traffic every day. With Google, you know what's one of the criteria that needs to be true for Google to start sending you clicks? First, you need to set a target CPA, which is a target cost per action. And then you need to set a budget that's at least 7 to 10 times higher than your CPA. So if you want to get leads for $10 a lead, you need to set your budget to be $70 to $100 so their algorithm can learn. Here, you can be bidding whatever you want, and you can set the budget for $10. You're still going to get clicks as long as you're getting high quality score, relevance, and of course, your bidding is within the necessary range. So they don't discriminate against budgets. They just let the advertisers run, and once somebody runs out of budget, they bring in someone else. So yeah, you can actually start with $10 per day. So for me, anytime I build a new Microsoft Ads campaign, it's kind of like I've planted a tree, I put in some seeds, and I'm watching that tree grow into and blossom into something that can give me fruit. But with Microsoft, the beauty of it is because we now have access to virtually any industry, to virtually any offer, I can do it again and duplicate, and I can then duplicate that again with different offers, and I can then do it again with different offers still until I have lots of them. Now, there is a great question, again, by Jeremiah, who asks, out of all the offers you choose, what's the failure percentage? And I would even add to that question, like, do you ever run out of offers to test? And so the beauty of it is with Microsoft, I can test swiftly. Plus, I'm experienced, so I've developed an eye for what's going to work and what's not. So for me, a failure is a campaign that produced half the money back and not all of it, or went into profit, right? So that's to me a failure. So I don't have campaigns that don't deliver anything. It just doesn't happen to me anymore. But in addition, there's such an incredible amount of offers between ClickBank and CPA networks that you never run out of stuff to sell. Plus, there's also the high ticket offers that I mentioned earlier, that those of you who are within the first 5 are going to see it. And there's also private offers that you only get to and you only unlock them after you've made some money on the CPA networks and you kind of showed them that you're legit, right? That you can deliver some sales. Now, another great question. Again, Jeremiah is full of great questions. Can you do non-English speaking offers? Yeah, they actually have lots of traffic in the Netherlands. They have lots of German speaking traffic, lots of French speaking traffic. Microsoft is actually pretty big in European countries, more so than Apple. So yeah, there's plenty of traffic. So basically what I'm saying is Microsoft just allows you to rinse and repeat. So you can scale your income by planting more income streams, right? And while you do that, things you won't need to do is blog, start a social media profile, start a podcast, do forum marketing, Quora, cold outreach, search engines, video marketing, build landing pages, build WordPress sites, build email lists, write emails, write articles, shoot videos, prospect, pitch, service anyone, or sacrifice lots of time. I mean, honestly, does it get any better than that? Yeah? No, it doesn't. It really does not. So with this strategy, you can build what I would call a travel income, which is what a lot of people actually want to do. This is an example. Her name is Bree. She has a blog where she and her husband, they RV around the country and they work remotely. Now, she's not a member of Mads Academy, and she's not my friend, and she's not my client, and she doesn't even know I exist. But it's an example of if you can make money remotely, what you can be doing. Or maybe you're a stay-at-home parent, right? And you're wondering, is there anything I can do between the times my baby takes naps, or maybe later in the evening, something that doesn't require me to be at a certain place at a certain time, so I can make money, right? So that can be it. Or maybe you just want to live in the woods. Maybe you just want to, live somewhere far, far away from people, but you still don't want to give up your income. Like my buddy, he's a lawyer, right? So he would love to live at the cottage, but or go to Dominican Republic, but he can't because his clients are here and they want to meet him in person. Or maybe you want to make some side income without quitting your job. There's actually a lot of people who don't want to quit their day jobs, but they do want to make some extra income. Maybe you want to do some renovation this year. Maybe you just always dreamed of having something on the side so you don't feel so dependent on your job. Maybe you hate your job and you want to start building something today so you can quit 5 years from today. Whatever the case, you can start with this strategy because it's low risk, low time investment strategy. Okay? Whatever it is for you, you can pick your own lifestyle. That's really up to you. That's really up to you. For me, my lifestyle, like I said, didn't really change much. I started traveling more. Yeah, sure. I started driving nicer cars, doing things that I've always wanted to do. But in the day-to-day, I'm still a normal guy who wakes up at 6 a.m., goes down to the basement, and starts working. So even though I could be walking away from the computer much sooner, I still end up working from about 6 a.m. until about 8, then breakfast, kids, etc. And about 9:30, I'm back on it up until about maybe 1:30, unless of course I'm doing like a webinar or something like that. So that's my choice. But the thing is, I have a choice. Okay, that's the deal. So, again, there's not too many things out there that can do this. There's not too many things out there that can truly deliver on the passive income, right? The good traffic that's hitting a good offer and creates a commission. Maybe you want to give back. Maybe you want to give, right? This is my mom. So my mom now lives in an apartment that I purchased for her as a result of making money online. So the reason I was able to do that is, again, because at some point, just like you, I was sitting on a webinar and, I had a decision to make. Do I listen to that fella who was promising me stuff or not? So, I'm really happy that I did. Now, not every decision that I've made along the way, as far as trusting mentors, worked out, but the ones that worked out big. It's kind of like, my stock portfolio. I own lots of different stocks, and, there's lots of losers there, but there's also some winners, and the winners tend to eclipse the losers by a high margin, right? Now, guys, we're going to do some more Q&A, so keep posting questions in the chat, all right? Now, can you do this on your own? So I don't want to give the impression that you can't. You truly can. I did it on my own. I didn't hire any mentors. I didn't really have anyone to talk to. I figured out everything myself. So can you do it on your own? Yeah, you can. But if it takes me that much money, that much time to figure things out, how much time will it take you? Do you have thousands of dollars to spend? Do you have the ability to invest time every single day to run tons of different tests? Are you the kind of technical person with an engineering mind that can go into things and tinker and take them apart? Some of you, I'm sure, are, but some of you, I'm sure, aren't. So it really comes down to not whether you should be using Microsoft Ads. You should be using Microsoft Ads. That's a given. If anything, you're walking away from this call today, you should be doing Microsoft Ads. What you need to also do is you also need to ask yourself whether you want to do it on your own or whether you want to maybe save a lot of time, a lot of money that you would otherwise make with spending money on stuff, and basically study under a mentor. Now, another reason that I think Microsoft Ads works so well and why I just like it so much better than Facebook ads is because Facebook ads is interruption, or any other social media platform, right? It's somebody's going through the feed and then you're interrupting them with an ad. With Microsoft, you're appearing in front of somebody who's already searching for a solution that you're selling. So if I'm advertising that drink that I told you about, that powder that you add to the drink that speeds up your metabolism, and I'm bidding on keywords such as speed up metabolism, guess what? The message is welcome, right? Now, guys, I see lots of different questions about a payment plan. Please stay tuned, okay? I'll get to it in a minute. So I also feel that Microsoft Ads are way better than Google, because they're cheaper. They're what Google used to be. Google used to be awesome, used to be simple and cheap. Now Google is expensive and complicated. So for me, Microsoft Ads is basically this deja vu of a traffic source because we've seen it before with Google, and I think we need to ride the wave. So it's like in the sweet spot, the sweet spot between value you get and the money you pay for it. Now, if you're still on the fence about this whole situation, I want to remind you of something. The difference between timing, the difference between salad and garbage is timing. This is a saying by Dan Kennedy in one of his books, which I actually don't see anywhere online. I couldn't even find like a visual, like a picture quote of this saying, but I think it's so good. The difference between a salad you can eat that's going to be good and healthy for you and garbage is literally how fast you're going to eat it. So we've seen it before, and I keep bringing this up. The difference between people who made a lot of money with Bitcoin and people who lost lots of money with Bitcoin is what? It's timing. It's the delay in action. And let me ask you, what is it for you? What do you regret more? Mistakes you've made in the past or opportunities you've missed by not acting? Because for me, when I'm on my deathbed, I don't think I'll be regretting things I tried that didn't work. I think I'd be regretting the opportunities that I did not take. That's why I've always been, so action driven. because I've always had a sense of urgency about opportunities. And again, not every opportunity I've ever got into worked out. Some I got burnt, but the winners produced a lot more anyway, covering the losses. So the getting is good in Microsoft, but it won't be there forever. Someone asked earlier, what do you think is the expiration date on this? From now, 3 to 4 years. That's my prediction. Now, of course, I don't have a crystal ball. I may be off, but even if I'm off by 50%, we're still talking 2 years. 2 years is a lot of time, is a lot of money. It can supply you with an opportunity to build a cushion from which you can go further from there. But I definitely feel that right now, we're at the beginning of that trend that Google used to be early 2000s, that Facebook used to be early 2010s, right? So many of you asked about a payment plan, right? So who asked about a payment plan? Can you post in the chat again? There were a few people who posted that they can't afford the whole thing up front and they needed a payment plan. I think Joseph was one of them, and Ken, right? Who else? Yep. Okay. So look, there are some options. Okay, if you can't, Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis, hey. If you can't afford the whole thing up front, and 10 says, can I pay in 2 installments? Actually, I'll do better than that. So look, first off, if you're located in the United States, you can use PayPalCredit.com. PayPalCredit.com, you go there, you log in to your PayPal account, and they will run a check on whether or not you're qualified for a 6 months interest-free financing. Okay, you don't have to explain to them what you're buying. They just give you the financing. And as far as I know, if your credit score is decent, you will probably get it. Because PayPal has actually been shifting their focus since the start of the pandemic to become a lender, and they've increased their share price as a result. I know because I've invested in PayPal in the stock market, and I've been following their updates. So PayPal actually wants to give you money, guys. So if you're in the States, go to PayPalCredit.com and just see if you qualify. Now, another thing is that PayPal actually allows you to pay later. So if you go to igor.so/mads and you bring up the PayPal checkout thingy, there should be an option for you, again, if you qualify, and I think you once again have to be located in the United States for this, to pay later or to pay in for payments, right? So in fact, again, if you're located in the States, just by going to the igor.so/mads, you should be able to see these options, as you can see from the screen, from the screenshot on the left. Okay? Now, if you don't have these options, then here's what I can do for you. I can do a in-house financing. Okay? So what does that mean? So instead of giving you a 97% discount, I will give you a 95% discount and charge you a total of $19.85 instead of $14.97. So you're paying more. However, you will only be due today to get going $397, and then 4 additional monthly payments of $397 30 days apart after that. So a total of 5 payments of $397 for a total investment of $19.85. So to keep things fair to the people who submitted the full payment, you'll be paying more money if you go on a payment plan, okay? And if you want to go on that payment plan on an in-house financing, you can go to igor.so/mads5. Now, very important, to keep things real with the people who jumped in and paid full price, even if you're in the first 5 people to join, but you join on the payment plan, you will not receive the fast action bonuses. I know may not come across fair, but if somebody joins at full price and pays up front and commits within the first 5, I reward them with a better deal and more perks. So if you join a payment plan, I'm sorry, but you're not getting the fast action bonuses, which is the account setup guide, the 6 month support, the ad espionage, the secret affiliate programs, the CPA bootcamps, the big money affiliate, and the whole partner with Igor situation. Until you submitted the whole 5 payments. So once the 5th will go through, then I'll enable these bonuses for you. Okay? I want to keep things fair for the people who jump in first, people who paid full price. I think doing it otherwise will not be fair to them. If you accept this, great. You can go to igor.so/mads5, and then you'll have the option to do it. If, however, you don't feel this is fair, then no hard feelings. Simply don't join the program, and just stay on the sidelines for now. Okay, so these are your 2 options. So now we can do some more Q&A. Let's see what else came in. So. Okay. So Aaron is asking, does this work with high ticket make money online offers? Yes, this does. All right. Willie is asking, are you charging any back office fees? What is the link for support? And I did not get the PayPal link. Okay, cool. So Willie, you should have gotten a response in the chat from Lana with where to go for support. And no, we do not charge you any quote unquote back office fees. We would not charge you extra for support. No. I'm not even sure what the back office fee is, to be honest with you. So what you're paying today is what you've already paid, because I know you were one of the first 5 to join. Paid $14.97. That's it. You don't pay us anything else. But in case it's not clear, you are responsible for your own ad spend, right? Meaning you are responsible for, paying for the ads when you run them. We don't do that. But again, just in case. Cool. So any further questions? We have a question from Jeremiah asking how long would it take to go through your course? Not sure how to answer that question. I don't know. If you just sit down, start to finish, I'd say 5 hours. But from what I know, people don't really go through courses like that anymore. At least I don't. Like, I'll watch for 20 minutes, then my kids will run into the room, distract me. I have to pause, then I forget. I stay upstairs, have a sandwich. Then I remember about it. Promise to myself to watch it after kids go to bed. And then when kids go to bed, I just grab some ice cream, turn on my Netflix, and I forget all about the course. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take you to go through it. But if you're asking if it's one of those things that you need like 6 months to go through, no, it's not that. It's also not done like a textbook or anything like that. This is over the shoulder, so you get to watch me do stuff. So it's like proper tutorials. It's not like, reading a book or anything like that. Okay? Cool. So Marcus is asking, how are we going to learn how to advertise our super funnel using Microsoft Ads? Marcus, well, if you want, you can enroll in the program, and you will learn how to pretty much advertise anything using Microsoft Ads, not just the super funnel, but anything else. Or you can just start running some ads. Also, experience is a great teacher. Oh, you're in. Okay, cool. So if you're in, then you're gonna learn. Trust me. Just go, get going, and you'll see exactly how it's all done. All right. So I don't think there's any further questions, unless I missed any. So this is really your last chance to post any questions. Let me just double check, because there's the Q&A tab and there's the chat tab. Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, that's a great question. So this is the last one that I'll answer. So this is a question from Bruce. He says, are you worried about the blocking of third-party cookies which enable affiliate marketers and CPL marketers to get keyed to the business they generate? Basically, yeah. So in the recent months, they've been a bunch of announcements of how everybody's like now disabling cookies. So in other words, those of you who don't know, a cookie is like a tracking pixel or a tag that the affiliate platforms that track your affiliate commissions use to track you. So they know that the sale came from you and not from somebody else. Well, the initial decision to block these actually was just postponed by Google recently by about 2 or 3 years. And the reason is because they created lots of lashback, and because it's not something they can just disable overnight. So, but we're talking, like, when we talk about cookies, we're talking about something that's bigger than just Microsoft ads. We're talking about the whole industry, right? We're talking about, the entire affiliate marketing space being shaken, not to mention, of course, all the small businesses and all the independent advertisers that also use cookies. Affiliates are not the only ones using cookies. Everybody's using them. Everybody's using them, trust me. So when it comes to affiliate marketing and advertising in general, the cookie situation is an industry-wide issue that may or may not come up in about 2, maybe 3 years from now, if they ever decide to continue with that. But remember, we're talking every single platform everywhere, every social network, every native advertising network, everyone's using cookies. So if that ever happens, there will probably end up being a solution that replaces it, that everyone will unanimously agree on using. So don't worry about that, at least not for the next 2 years. Okay, so that should not be a concern for you. All right. Yeah. So one last time, we already had this question before I wrap up. Phyllis is asking, is there a money back refund guarantee? Phyllis, no, there is not. If you feel you need a refund or a guarantee or some kind of reassurance, then I don't think this is for you at this time. Okay, so this is only for the people who really know they want in. And if you feel that a refund something that you need, then just don't join. As simple as that. Maybe it's just not the right time for you. Maybe you're still not confident enough in whether you want to pursue Microsoft ads or affiliate marketing in general. Maybe it's me. Maybe you don't trust me, and that's okay. I respect that. In any case, no money back guarantees on this one. However, what I do guarantee, that's something I've always done and will always keep doing, is that anytime there's an issue, anytime there's a problem, anytime there's anything missing or otherwise confusing, we go in and we improve the product, we fix it, we work with the clients, we'll listen to the feedback. So if there's anything that's wrong with the program itself that prevents you from success, right? This is something that we always handle. We never leave a man or woman behind. It's just something we've always done, we'll always continue to do, okay? Yeah, so that's about it. Guys, thank you so much for attending this training. I've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope I've made you understand how incredible this opportunity is. And those of you who joined, I'll see you guys inside. I can't wait for your feedback. And I will be updating the program with more stuff as we go in the coming weeks. And those of you who chose to stay on the sidelines, that's okay too. I really hope that I at least planted a seed to make you see and understand that this is the way to go. All right. So everyone,